ahead, get everything set up, get all the bot stuff going, and we should be good. Hold on, I'm going to take a drink real quick. Alright. Hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson, and it is December 30th, and this is the December 30th TextQuest Devstream. So, today we are going to be getting back into our custom adventure stuff. We're going to start off with a simple task of getting some rich text editor stuff set up, so that item descriptions can have rich text shown and then the actual text shown. That way you can edit things a little bit more easily. And then from there, I think we're going to tackle items. So getting items set up for custom adventures. Currently, we only support basic object interactions, but we're going to try to get items actually set up, which will mean inventory set up. And I think we can do that. I don't think it's going to be too much trouble. I think we can do that all in one day. All right. In any case, so to start off, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm talking about when I say we're going to edit some or add some rich text editing functionality. So if you remember, I think it was a long time ago, due to all the holiday stuff. Back when the last dev stream that we did on custom adventure stuff, we had set up verb interactions or verb menus, I guess, for adjusting outputs from verbs. And we are going to basically, so I'm going to come over here to take, so you can see that we have a test take output and take is highlighted in red. And that's because take has rich text tags around it. Hello, Anthony. Welcome back. How are you doing today? So this is what rich text does in TextMesh Pro. It lets you highlight certain words, and I use that for hints. So whenever I want to give the player hints, I just have a little bit of highlighting that I typically do. I typically highlight in yellow, although I highlight with a highlight color, and that highlight color changes depending on the color of the text. By default, it's yellow because that's what the default yellow or the default text color is white. But after you unlock text colors by beating the game, I need to, of course, anticipate yellow being one of the colors that gets selected. So, in any case, so if we actually look at this, let's go to our UI, view container, custom game interaction, panel. Let's see, we're on verbs, I believe. Yep. Let's go to verb selection. Yep. Right? No, that's not right. Yar. Let's see. I'm doing all right. Wasted 6 hours straight on Mass Effect 1. Why Mass Effect 1? That's a bit of a throwback. Not really a waste. It was addicting. Well, I guess I'm not one to talk. Recently, I've been playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Why? Because I felt like it. And it's super fun. Not the best game ever, but it's fun. In any case, I'm going to keep clicking through here until I get what I want. There we go. Okay, so oh, that's the selection area. Here we are. Do I have rich text support here? Yes. So if I uncheck rich text, then you can see the actual rich text tags show up, but then the highlighting goes away. I have no idea what rich text editing does. So I'm just going to go ahead and so what I'm wanting to do is basically have a little toggle here that has, it's basically like parentheses underneath this that says rich text, and then there's a little toggle, and if you toggle that on, then all rich text tags will be turned into actual rich text values, and if you toggle it off, then it'll go back to basically displaying this. Now, the reason that I want to do that is so that you don't accidentally get rich text left in there. You can just do quick cursory glances by checking that box, because otherwise there's no real way of knowing that you have rich text in there, and in order to actually edit it, you have to delete, at which point you kind of assume that there's a rich text there, but you don't know what it's going to be. It could be anything from color to size to font, whatever. Well, not font, but size and all that stuff. So that's just something that I want to iron out, really. Let's go ahead and stop playing. We're going to pop over here, and we want to go to the verb menu. Let's go to definition, And let's see. So we have a TMP input field. This is our output field. Okay. So I'm going to have another toggle below that. So public. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and switch over, try to start porting things over to my new code conventions. Well, no, it's fine for now. We'll just keep it as public. Public toggle, and this is going to be our rich text toggle. I guess that's probably two separate words. So let's go ahead and get a tooltip there. I'm going to say toggle for showing rich text tags in the verbs output field. Or just in the output field. Oops. There we go. Which I guess means that I'm going to actually, instead of having it say, I was originally going to have it say like hide rich text, but I think it's going to be show rich text. So if it's toggled, then it will show you the full tag, and if it's not toggled, then you'll just get the highlighting or whatever effects the rich text is having. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to need to add some event listeners. Let's see, on output changed. Here we are. Private void on rich text toggled value. All right, and we're going to say what was it? Output field dot rich text is equal to value. And we will also go ahead on open or on show. I'm going to go ahead and just say rich text toggle dot is on is equal to false. That should automatically trigger that output and then set everything up as we would expect. Okay. Oh, except actually, we want that to be the opposite of value. Isn't that fun? Okay, and then last thing here is going to be rich text toggle dot on value changed dot add listener on rich text toggled. All right, and that's pretty much all I need to do. How nice. Go ahead and let that compile. And while that's compiling, I'm going to take a drink. You know, I complain about compile times, and I kind of wonder if I should upgrade to 2017.3. I know that 2017.3 is officially out. I've held off because I've heard it's kind of buggy, but it does have the actual, what is it? The assembly definition files or whatever whatever they set up, so that I can define my own scripts as my own assembly. That would probably cut down on compile time significantly. But for now, I'm going to hold off on that, just until it's a little bit more stable, I think. In any case, so we want to go to custom game interaction. Let's go ahead and revert that, just so that I know that it's not got anything messed up with it. We're going to go ahead and open up verbs. Let's get that turned on. Then verb scroll view, viewport content. I think we want output. So underneath this label, we are going to go ahead and say, we're going to create a new UI toggle. And it's going to be kind of weird, because we want it to, geez, that's super weird. So we're going to have it be anchored to the top, like that. Position, I guess our position will be -50. That seems right. We're going to get rid of our label here. We're going to re-add a TextMesh Pro label. Make sure that it's our correct font. And let's see. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set this label up to be stretched from the left. Size is going to be 12. Oh, wow. More than that. 18, 24. There we go. That seems right. Show rich text. Not exactly my favorite thing. Show rich text. Can I shrink you down to 18 again? Still not enough, huh? Uh, hmm. Well, what if I were to do this? That seems appropriate? Question mark. Why don't I have these things further over anyway? Oh, it's because of the... Right. Let's move these over to 325. Like that. Let's see. Verb selection. 325. Just so that I have a little bit more room to work with here. Destroy after. 325. Okay, good. And end up here. So this is where things are going to get kind of weird. Call this label. And we are going to want this to be aligned to the right. Oh, and that would probably be a good thing for us to do. Label is actually going to go ahead and expand the entire length of this. 5, 0, 0. And I think we're going to want to have it be aligned to the right with an offset from the right by 50. Might not end up being that much. Let's go ahead and change everything around. Solid. Okay, there's our check mark. There's our background. Let's go ahead and also make this solid again. Solid sliced, because we don't want it to fill in its center. And let's see, I'm going to have you stretch all the way. 5, 5, 5. Okay, let's see here. 0, a width of 50. Wow, that's too much. So it's currently 20, and I think that's because our height is 20. Yeah. Let's go ahead and make our height 50. No, that's still too much. 40. Let's go for 30. Make our background 30 then. Okay, there we go. And let's go ahead and move our label here to be centered and 40 from the right. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead, rename this toggle. We're going to call this rich text toggle. And go ahead and make some adjustments to make sure that everything looks nice. Oh, it's interactable. We're not going to do any sort of transition. It's not going to have any navigation. By default, it's going to be off. Do that. And that's all I should really care about. Okay, so let's go ahead, go up here to verbs, do our rich text toggle, and now we should be able to turn that off, turn this off, hit apply, and that should be all we needed to do. So now if we test that menu, it should give us a little toggle that we can then just turn on or off to have rich text be displayed or not displayed. I'm also wondering, should we maybe spend time today actually working on tooltips? Because that could be a nice thing to do. Create, Zork. I guess I got around it on the other menus by doing this. So I have descriptions at the bottom. But I don't really have that for things like this. And the concept of rich text doesn't exactly make sense, I guess, unless you know what rich text is. It's kind of an awkward thing. Um, so same with destroy after, right? It's like none of these things make sense out of context, which most of them are. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to info, go back to verbs. Okay, I wanted to make sure that that transition back would work. So we do have that in there now, which is nice. Gives us just a little bit more control over outputs. The next thing I want to work on, do I want to just jump into items or do I want to work on tooltips? I don't know. I think I'm going to jump into items, which means that basically we want to make this toggle, or not toggle, but drop down function. Currently, this drop down doesn't really do anything. In fact, I don't even think it changes anything. So let me go ahead and close that. Go back here to door. Yeah, I don't even think that does anything. Let's go ahead and try like axe. Yeah, it totally does nothing. So let's go ahead and... is there anything else I want to look at while we have this? Nope. Let's go ahead and close that. So that's our verbs menu then. We're pretty much in a good state with that. So we do need to go to, let's see, interaction view, info menu, go to definition, description, type drop down. Do I do anything with you? No, I just have you there. So 2018 is just around the corner. Yes, it is. It's 2 days away. Where did the time go? Okay, so this is our interaction info menu. So we need to have something for on drop down changed. On name deleted, name added. Is that going to be last? Yeah, type drop down was last. That's fair. Let's go down here. Private void on type changed, I guess. That's going to be an int value. So we're going to say type dropdown dot on value changed dot add listener on type changed. All right. So we're going to say switch value. It's going to be either case 0. Oops, not negative. Case 0. Break. Or case 1. Break. So this is going to get somewhat weird because I essentially need to delete the existing object and then reset it. Excuse me. Then reset it to be either an item if it was a default object or a default interactive object if it was an item. But then I don't want to do anything if they're the same. So I don't want to do anything if it's already an item and we switch it to be an item. So yeah, that's going to be not terrible. But I think we're going to want to go ahead and open custom game author session. Because that, I think we're going to just do it straight through here. We'll call a function that basically says like swap swap object type. So let's see, there should be add object connections, remove rooms, add variable, sort variables by type, new interaction. Here we are. So we can sort or get interaction type. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say public void swap interaction. No, we'll say set interaction type. Set interaction type int ID. So that's going to take the ID for the object, and then we're going to have a type, I guess. So we'll say CG interaction type, and that should just be basic or item. Okay. So now we're going to do some fun stuff. I still remember January. I vaguely remember January. I don't really remember it that well. Pretty sure that I was drinking heavily on New Year's, though. But, yeah, I mean, this year did just really fly by. Particularly the last 2 months. It's just been nonstop, it seems. I felt like the last 2 months I haven't been very productive because of how busy I've been. Which is not great. I mean, it's taken me 3 weeks to get through a freaking canyon cutscene. Just because of how much work I've been doing. Hey. Well, was it at least a good year for you, Anthony? I'm hoping it was, but you never know. Okay, so from this, we're going to want to say, so we're going to want to say if type is equal to get interaction type ID. Well, actually, no, we're just going to say if it's not equal to that, then we're going to do stuff. So with that, we'll say switch type case.basic break. Okay, so this is going to be the weird part. So I want to say JSON object JSON is equal to get interaction ID dot to JSON. Okay, so that's going to be like our cached information, which I'll probably rename it cached JSON. And from there, we're going to need to delete. Oh, geez. Hold on. I need to delete the object, and then once I delete it, I need to re-add a new object at the exact same location with the exact same ID and association. So that's not exactly something I'm going. Well, okay, so I'm going to have another public void add interaction. Ooh. Yes, okay. Pardon, what did you say? I was asking, hopefully it was a good year for you, but you never know. Because 2017 went by so fast. So we have an interaction. So it's going to take an int ID for it. That's not eclipsing anything, right? Yeah, okay. So it's going to be exactly the same as add new interaction, except we're going to have an ID already passed in. So it's basically taking this step out. But, oh dear, should I have a type? I kind of think I should have a type. Okay, let me peek this, make sure that there's yeah, okay. So we're going to say add interaction with an ID and then CG underscore interaction type. Should I, hold on, find all references. No, I guess adding a new interaction, it's always assumed that it's a basic object, and then the add interaction will, yeah, okay, so this will handle the manual specification of if it's an item or a basic item. It was alright. ADTR was the best thing this year. ADTR. I don't think I know what that is off the top of my head. In any case, so we're going to go ahead and say switch type case interaction type dot basic breakout. We're going to do pretty much the we'll go ahead and do a JSON object info. No, we'll say JSON is equal to null by default, and then we'll say let's go ahead and copy this, paste this in, and we're going to go ahead and say from JSON is equal to null question mark. If that's the case, then we will use the default. Otherwise, we're going to use JSON. Okay, that's all good. Here's our ID. Okay. If I guess I'll also say if interactions dot contains key ID. Do I want to? I feel like I should throw a warning, because this I don't think can really happen. Well, yeah, all right. We'll debug dot log warning same or ID already exists. And I guess we should probably also go ahead and say ID something. So string.format followed by ID. All right. A day to remember. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not super well versed in the musical realm. Well, the realm of music. Musical realm would be a different thing, I guess. Well, that's good to hear, though. At least there was one positive thing. Let's see. So this is going to spawn in our object. If it's a basic type, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. If it's an item, except we're going to call this item. And we're going to call this item prefab. And then item. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Do I have two of these things, by the way? Basic interaction template, I guess, is good enough. So, right. Pretty sure that it's good. All right. Okay, everything should be good there. All right. So we're gonna need to go back down to here we are. So we're going to cache our JSON information for the object, and then we're going to delete. Oh, geez, this could be more complicated than I was expecting. Remove, delete, interaction. Also, I guess we're going to go ahead and say int cached ID is equal to dang it. Hold on. Wait, I don't need to do that because the ID gets passed in. Duh. So we'll delete interaction ID. Now the question here is, I think when I delete things... Oh, good. Never mind. Never mind. False alarm. I was a little worried for a second there. Oh, that's probably not great. Crud. So when I delete an interaction, probably what should happen is I actually go through all of my existing data and I say, was something looking at this object? And then I wipe it. Because if I don't do that, then we're going to run into situations where you might delete an object, its ID gets freed up to be used by another object later on. And then when you make that object and that ID gets set in motion, when you go to a room that was referencing the original interaction, it's going to have that new interaction set there randomly. So it's not great. So we can't just delete it. Although, I mean, that's fundamentally that's what we're doing, but we need to do a couple of other things first. So first off, I'm going to see where all of this is referenced. Interaction view. That's when we delete. Yes. Okay. So when we delete, I think we're going to go up here and we're going to say bool clear references is equal to true by default. So down here, we're going to set this equal to false, which means that up here, we actually need it to, we need to do something. So we're going to say to do clear object references, which more or less means just going through every, oh geez, that's going to suck. Going through every object and going through every room and then removing any reference to this object. Yay! We're going to do that later though. Oh no, I can't. Well, yes I can for now. That's fine. There's a safety mechanism in place that when every room generates, it looks for an object with this ID and it says, and it makes sure that this ID is a valid ID that it's looking for, and if it's not, then it just doesn't do anything with it. So it's not like we're going to get null references if we delete an ID and it doesn't, and a room's looking for it. That's not the problem. The problem is if we delete an ID, the room's looking for it, and then we also, take a look at, or we also add a new item that gets that old ID assigned to it. Although, give me a second here. Let's go to peak definition here. I don't want interactions. I want rooms, actually. Rooms. Room info. Let's go to definition real quick. So, when this is loaded to JSON, add, yep, we just straight up add it. Well, crud. Alright, that's fair. You know what? I think we're actually, well, no, that, yeah, okay. Let's go to definition again real quick. Take a look at this. Yeah, I need to remove this. So, get rid of you, because that to-do is already done, actually. Get exit info. I suppose... I suppose I could just add a function here that's just like remove interaction. No, you know what? That's actually not that bad. I think I can just do this. So I can say for int I equals 0, I is less than room info dot count I plus plus room info. If room info of I dot interactions dot contains ID, then we'll say room info of I dot remove, dot interactions dot remove ID. Okay, so that's actually not that bad. Although, hold on. So clear object to object references, I think is how I'm going to want to phrase that. And we'll keep that there for now. So we should be able to blow away all of the changes to the rooms themselves, but we do need to handle per object references. And for that, we're just going to say if clear references, then we'll do all that fun stuff. All right. So that should handle getting rid of references. So let's see. So we're going to want to cache our JSON. We're going to delete our interaction, and then we're going to add an interaction back at the existing ID of the existing, or of this type, with our cached JSON as its information. And I think that's all we really need to do. Actually, now that I think about it, do I just... Yeah, okay. I think I just want to straight up do this. I don't even need to... I don't even care about the type. Okay, I think that's all I need to do. Let's see here. Go to definition here, switch type, contains key, interaction type, blah, blah, blah. No, that should be good. Okay, so let's go back to the info menu, and here is where we're gonna have fun. So we're gonna say, do I have session? Sorry, author session. Oh, I don't. Hooray! Go figure. Really not? I guess not. Alright, well that's fair. Let's go ahead and go back down here. So we're going to want to say global.get custom game author session. And we're going to say dot, what was it, add interaction. And then we're going to say, oh, I need the ID. Dang it. Oh, wait, do I have a current item or current interaction? Current interaction. Aha, dot ID. That doesn't work. Frack. Frack. Okay. Surely I have some way of referencing this. Hold on. Definition. We have object current interaction. Ha! No, surely I'd have to have some way of knowing this. Refresh info. Oh, it's probably that. Well, that's annoying. I'm guessing that I did something smart though, and Google.get custom game author session dot get interaction. Ah, you're kidding me. I never did a reverse of it because, of course, I didn't. All right. Let's go ahead and delete that. So I need to basically grab the object's ID. Otherwise, I won't be able to tell what I'm even interacting with. Let's go over here to CG interaction view. We're going to go to our target object, which I think is set by clicking on an object, if I'm not mistaken. Get interaction ID, open ID. Yeah, okay. So we don't actually store anything with this ID. Refresh interaction video or info. Okay. So we need to persist this ID basically. We can either store it in the main interaction view, or I can store it in the submenus. I don't know which would be better, because the submenus will need it, and they don't have a reference to their parent menu because they don't need one normally. So I would have to store it in both places. Well, I don't really need it in the interaction view though. So let's go ahead and go over here. Alright, I'll do it here. Protected int current interaction ID is equal to 0. Let's see, refresh info. Let's go up here. Let's go to refresh interaction info. Okay, we pulled that. Okay, so I actually do need to store it here. Isn't that fun? So we'll go ahead and say private int target object ID is equal to 0. Let's go ahead and set target object ID is equal to ID. Then down here, we're going to go ahead and pass target object ID in. So we'll be refreshing the target object and the target object ID at the same time. That way we can pass this down. So let's go over here to interaction submenu. And we're going to go ahead and say int interaction ID. So we're going to want to say current interaction ID is equal to interaction ID. All right. that should pretty much do everything that we want, which means that now we can go back to info view, do this, add interaction with current interaction ID of type basic with current interaction dot to JSON. Okay, so then we're going to do pretty much the same thing here. Just instead of basic, we're going to say item. Okay, that should work? Question mark? Oh crap! No, that's yeah. Wow, that really sucks. Okay, we got problems with this. It's going to delete the reference to the interactive object because it's being deleted and replaced with a item, or vice versa. But because these things are caching the reference to the actual object, so if we go to our submenu here, we have these references to interactive object. We have to update that. And we also have to update it here. So we have to update this target object. Oh boy. That's really not great. That is really not great at all, in fact. Okay. What to do about this? Because these submenus don't have any reference to their parent menu, because they don't need it normally. I don't see a reason to really do that here. But this is awkward, because once I change type, it's basically going to snap everything in half. But only on the currently active menus, though. Hello, Apollo I. Welcome back. How are you doing today? We're currently trying to get support for items set up for custom adventures. And, of course, I'm running into issue after issue, because it wouldn't be exciting otherwise. So, we need some way of hot reloading this, basically. How do I want to handle that? I could have an event that interaction info menu itself fires. I really would prefer not to, but I guess that's not terrible. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. We can just basically, when the type changes, we'll fire an event to, we'll fire an event that, that basically the parent interaction view is listening for, and when it gets that, it's going to set its current target object and all of that fun stuff, and then call refresh. That should work. So let's go ahead and go over here. We're going to need a new event. Public system dot action. It's going to take an interactive object. And we're going to say on type changed to delegate. All right. Yeah, you know what? We'll do that the proper way. To public delegate void info event object. Just call it IO. Change this real quick to event info event. All right, so we're gonna go down here on type changed. Really? Oh, right, because I made an event for that. We'll just say type changed. Come down here, and then we're just gonna go ahead and say type changed. And piece of crap. Are you serious? Let's go up here. Peak definition. I'm gonna make this actually return our interaction. So interactive object. Okay, then we will return IO, and we will return item. do. Okay. So that should give everything. Oh, you're going to throw a fit because return null. Oh my god. I have something in my eye and it's driving me nuts. Ah! Ah. There we go. Better. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and save real quick. Close this. We'll be able to say... say interactive object. IO is equal to null. IO. And then we'll say IO is equal to this. IO is equal to this. Alright, let's go up here. That should handle all of that, I think. Let's go up here. Interesting. I had an on type changed here. Huh. Well, that's fine. I can co-opt it. I don't really need it because this menu doesn't do anything by itself. Okay. Right. I'm not mistaken there. Where? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to change on type change from an int value to an interactive object IO, and we're going to say target object is equal to IO, and then we'll call refresh interaction info. Okay, that should do everything that I want it to. But real quick, I am going to need to say on awake. There we go. Info menu dot type changed plus equals on type changed. Okay, I think that will work. I think that's going to do everything that I need it to do. So let that compile real quick. How's it all going? Well, you just saw me, I guess, go through a bunch of random things that were seemingly unrelated, but were actually somewhat important. So we're just about, I think we're going to test swapping object types. So we should be able to use the drop-down in the interaction info menu to change an object's type from basic interactions, which is just a base interactive object, to items, which have special properties like they can be picked up and added to your inventory. So let's go ahead, let that compile, clear out everything else, and let's test that out. So hopefully we'll be able to swap objects or swap object types and have all of their references be maintained when we swap. Also, deleting objects now should remove them from the rooms that we're referencing them. Start, extras, author mode, create, Zork. Okay, so we want to go to interactions. I want to do test object. I'm just going to delete. Yes. Oh my, that does nothing, does it? That does nothing. Why do we have that there even? Actually, that's super redundant, isn't it? Because I have a delete button out here. Huh. And obviously this does nothing. So if I delete this, that actually doesn't. Okay. Well, in any case, let's go ahead and add a new interaction. I'm going to go ahead and swap this over to be an item. Let's call this a test custom item. And let's go ahead and close. Okay, so now we have an item. I'm going to change it from a basic to an item. Crap. And there's our null reference. Oh, phooey. I know what I did. I didn't assign an actual prefab for the items, have I? Oops. Well, fortunately, this will also let me make a quick adjustment that I keep forgetting to do before I hit play. I'm going to change our UI to. Oh crap! No, I probably have to do that programmatically, don't I? I probably do. Oh, you're gonna be terrible, aren't you? All right. Let's go ahead and close this. So I need to go to UI real quick. Find all references. Go to UI. All right. Overlay canvas. Here we are. Overlay canvas group. Loading canvas group. Wait, what? What is going on here? Give me a second here. Yeah, because that stuff gets added in programmatically. Because of course it does. Because I love to make it hard on myself. Although I guess technically that's actually me making it easy on myself. In any case, overlay is what I want. Do I really not have a... Huh, so I must just be putting it under the overlay canvas? Is that really right? That seems wrong. But I guess so. Alright, fair enough. So I need to change my overlay canvas group to be set to have its order fudged to 30,001. That'll fix my cursor being rendered underneath certain things. Let's see. Get component. Which means that I'm doing it here. Here we are. Canvas group, block raycast, CG dot. What is it? Order? Okay, what do you got here? Block raycast, constant force. Please tell me that this is not hidden. Because that would be stupid. No way. Is it really? No. I have to be missing something. GUI texture. You have no way. I refuse to believe this. Hold on. Okay. Oh, is it the canvas? Oh, it must be the canvas then. Okay, there we go. So sorting order needs to be 30,001. There we go. Okay. Oh, and I need to assign that reference, don't I? Let's go to custom game author session. Didn't know you have Dark Souls 2. You finished it? I finished Dark Souls 1, did not finish Dark Souls 2. I got, I don't know, like 5-6 hours in. I got past, what was it? It was near one of the starting areas, past Majura, or whatever the first town kind of thing is. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so I want this to... Okay, I don't really know why I did that, but that's fine. Oh, right, because I need to have a model. Let's go ahead and grab this. We're going to set this to item. We're going to remove this, add an item. Okay, so all that should be good. Let's go ahead and add that. Okay, I think that will fix our problem. All right, let's take a look at this. But yeah, I got like 6 hours in, I think, unless that's completely wrong. Whatever my actual playtime is whatever my actual playtime is on there. But I got a decent ways in, and I just got bored because I don't know, the way they handled things was a little off-putting. Like the fact that you die every time you die, your health gets lower and lower, which is really terrible in a game where you're expected to die a lot. And you can reverse that by adding humanity. But if you have humanity, that means that you have a harder time playing because enemies can invade and a bunch of other stuff. And then when you die, you get mad because you lost your humanity and you have to waste it. Otherwise, you lose health constantly, and it just not very fun. In any case, let's go over here to info. Okay, we're going to swap this. So, aha, you can see that my cursor is now over everything. We're going to swap you to item. And, all right. Wait, hold on. So I got my warning saying that an element with the same key already exists in the dictionary, which is weird because we can see interactions.contains key ID. So we should remove that from our list of interactions, from our dictionary of interactions. And then when we try to add it back in, we get an error. Why? Did it try to add it multiple times? Let's take a look at that output log. Okay, so we did get an ID already exists. But how? Why? For what reason? Because right here, we just straight up tell it to remove it. So that's weird. Recycle the game object. That's correct. Let me go up here. Cat. Yes, I see you. Interesting. Let's see. Type does not equal get interaction type ID. Why would it? Okay, let's go ahead and go to definition here. So we got an error because we tried to add that ID back in, but we removed it. Okay, well, then I'm going to, I guess, double check that I actually delete it. If interactions not contains key, okay, so let's do a debug.log removed interaction plus ID. Okay, so that should basically put out a little log that confirms that it removed it. Okay. I don't really know what else to do about that. Peak definition. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Let's just see what it does. Yeah. Are you a fan of the Dark Souls series, Anthony? Or I guess the Souls genre in general now, because there's stuff like Bloodborne to consider. Quick question. Did anyone see something wrong with this picture? There is something wrong with this picture. I'm wondering if anyone can notice it. And that's annoying. Okay, I gotta pause real quick. What the heck happened here? Okay. Ah! What? That's even weirder. Hold on. Does that mean that's just... Wow, that's super weird. Why? For what reason? Anyway, the sewer bars are invisible for some reason. I don't know why. Let's go real quick. Make sure that my menu cameras are not doing something stupid. They're doing something stupid. Well, that's good to know. I wonder how long that's been happening, because I've totally seen that before. Huh. Well, alright then. Let's go ahead and get back to it. That's something I need to fix. Let's go to extras, author mode, create, Zork. And we're going to say interactions, item. Let's go to info type. My verb's messed up. Nope. Oh, that's fine. All right, so we're going to set this to item. Let's take a look at our logs. Hello! There it is. We didn't get that log out, which means that it didn't remove it for some reason. Huh? I don't... What? Go to peak definition. Okay, so does it at least think that it tried to remove it? Let's go ahead and say removing interaction. Make sure that it actually gets called. And if clear references, that's all fine. That's super weird. How could it not contain the object or contain that ID so it doesn't get deleted? But then when we try to add the interaction back in, it complains about it not existing. Does it happen twice? Wait. It might happen twice. So it could be that when we... Wait, no, that's not right. Then why would it care? Okay. This is interesting. Well, I guess let's double check that for some reason... I mean, it's got to be at least attempting to delete it. That'd be super weird otherwise. Clear that, hit play. I don't know why I would do that. Well, let's go ahead, skip through this. Extras, author mode, create, work, interactions, item, info. Whoa! Yeah, it doesn't even... Huh. It doesn't even attempt to... What? What is going on here? It doesn't even attempt to remove it. Let's see. On verbs clicked. That's it. Where are you? Type change, go to definition. Target object is equal to IO. Refresh interaction info. Huh. So nothing... I guess let's check out that stack trace. Let's see. JSON object. Custom game author session 421. 421. Right here. Okay. So that's where that actual stack trace leads to. What happens before that? Interaction info menu on type changed. So line 111, right here, makes sense, right? Current interaction ID item. Yeah, I mean all that's correct. But then why? I'm so confused. Oh, duh. Because I'm stupid. Set interaction type. Right. Of course it was something like that because I was really, really dumb. Yeah. Jeez. I can't believe I'm that. Ridiculous! I hate it when I do stuff like that. And of course, set interaction type is what's going to need to return something, so give me a second. Set interaction type is going to go ahead and return an interactive object. Return add interaction. Oh, otherwise I guess we'll return null. Which means that we're going to need to go here, and we're going to need to say if IO equals null, return. We're not going to do anything. Okay, so that was because I was being stupid. Like 90% of my problems. Um, Gotta love it when I do that. Although, I guess real quick. Well, not real quick, but while this is compiling, which is funny because I can't actually do anything while it's compiling, I am going to go ahead and go to my castle and my sewers and change those menu cameras so that they don't call ignore raycast stuff. Let's go to menu cameras. Oh, good, I have a prefab. That's even better. So allow for ignore raycast. And that's all we should care about. Okay. Clear that. Let's go back to our splash fade. I really hope that they are prefabs. I'm pretty sure that's why I made it a prefab, so that I could easily adjust it. At least if I was smart, that's what I would have done. Let's go ahead and save this real quick. Alright. Take another crack at this. This time, for sure, it'll work. Alright. Start. Extras, author mode, create, Zork. Go to interactions, item, info, some item. It might have worked. Removing interaction, removed interaction. Alrighty, alrighty. Let's go ahead and close this. Frack. Wait, what? Okay. Let's go ahead and stop that real quick. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say item ID is equal to null question mark. Then we'll say item ID dot none. Else we'll return item ID. That's weird, a null reference exception there on something that's in my inspector, but I guess that's not entirely unheard of. It's just kind of weird. Which also means that this should probably just return that. Oh, that's right, it's because of my awkward inherited enums. Ugh. Yeah, that whole system got super messy. Super fast. Okay. Interesting. Getting some editor GUI errors. Let's go ahead and clear that out. So I think we should be fine there. We do need to... Well, I need to confirm that it's being swapped out. It seems like it is, but first up, let's go ahead and go over here to interaction info. And when we show this, we are going to want to say, let's go ahead and just say on show, we will, give me a second here. No, that's dumb. Okay, we'll do it in refresh info. So description field, let's go ahead and say, oof. Yeah, it's not great. Okay, type dropdown dot value is equal to, oh geez, current, yeah, okay. Alright, nuts to this. I'm going to do the fun thing. I'm going to go ahead and say private custom game author session, cached session, private custom game author session, cached, I guess we should call it author session. Return cached session, question mark, cached session, otherwise cached session is equal to global.get custom game author session. Alright. So we'll go ahead and say author session. Well, yeah. Author session dot get interaction type, current interaction ID. Oh, and actually, hold on. Peek this. Let me peek this. Please tell me I did it the smart way. I did not do it the smart way, but it's not a problem. I can just do that. And we're going to go ahead and just say int. Ta-da. Nice and simple. But we do need to remove that event listener whenever we do that. Jeez, that makes it so annoying. I hate doing that. Give me a second here. Oh yeah, and also I can just do this now. Set interaction type. Because if we don't prevent that event listener from firing, then we're going to get this on type changed event happening, and we don't want that. So, great. What to do about that? I mean, I can remove the event listener. I would just prefer not to. Yeah, alright. That's not the end of the world. Where's my refresh? It's up here somewhere. There we go. It's right here. We're going to go ahead and add it there, and then we'll go ahead and just say dot remove all listeners. Okay. And that should take care of setting it whenever you open it for the first time. We're going to want a similar thing. Well, no, we don't want to. Let's see, overview menu. Go to definition. Type label. Do I just set that? I guess so. That's fine. All right. So let's try that? Question mark. So this should have all of our. So basically, what should happen now is when you change an object from a basic type to a item type, the object should be swapped out for the new item, and then of course vice versa if you change it the other way. References should be kept intact. We should also have its the type dropdown should change to reflect it whenever we select the object. And oh crap. How do I even know? Oh, that might put a damper on things. Right. Crap. Alright, give me a second here. I think right now the way things are set... Yay, it works. I think right now the way things are set up, we won't persist the type of object, right? Or do we? So let's go over here to info. Okay, so it thinks it's type basic. Let's go over here to item. Let's just close you out. Okay, there's our sprite indicating that it's not an object. Let's go back. So we should have saved. Let's go to interactions. Let's go to interactions, a test custom item. Let's go ahead and make this just backspace I item. Let's close this out. Okay, so before we stop playing, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at custom game item pool used. Look at this. Okay, so that's all fine. And custom game basic interaction pool. We do have one free one, that's expected. Okay, so everything should be saved, although I guess to be certain of that. Explorer. Also gonna go ahead and stop playing. Let's go to text quest, custom. Let's go to Zork. All right. So for this, we should have item 15, I think is what we want. All the way down. Well, thank you, William, for hosting. All right. So let's see. How exactly do we want to equip a test object? Blah, 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 blah. Scrolling through all the JSON here. Okay, so this is going to be the top one that we want. Here we are. Item type. See, we don't have a type. We have an ID, which means that I have no way of persisting right now whether an object is an item or a basic interaction type. Not exactly the best thing. So let's go ahead and pop back in. I have the feeling that when we try to load everything again, everything will load just fine, as it should. But instead of actually persisting that item as an item, it's going to just be a basic interaction again. So that means that when I save objects out, I need to also save their type in addition to their ID. And then when I load them in, I need to look at their type and say, okay, are you an item or are you a basic interaction type? So let's go ahead and do start. We'll go to extras, author mode, great, Zork. Let's go to interactions. Yep, so it's back to being a basic object. So if we come over here, it's going to say basic. Yep. All right, well then that's actually not that hard to fix. Let's go ahead and go over to custom game author session. We need to all the way down and save. Save custom game, which I guess is just our basic 2JSON stuff. Go to definition. Let's see, positions, connections, node keys. That's all we care about, but that's because we need to use our base stuff. So base not 2JSON, go to definition. All right, let's see here. Values, interactions. Here we are. So we want to add int ID field, go to definition. So I need to copy this. I want to say int type. Type. All right. And once we have that, find all references here. Oh wait, where's this? CG interact. Oh, that's not. Yeah, that's nothing. Nope. There we are. Okay, so we need to add the type as well. So we want to say interactions, interaction JSON dot add custom content utility dot int underscore type. And here's where we get fun. So we want to say, what is this current interaction? I will say null for now. Let's see. Interactions of index. Interactions of index is item, question mark. So if that's the case, then we want to say cg underscore interaction type dot item, dot item dot, if I could spell item dot toString. Otherwise, we're going to say cg underscore interaction type dot basic dot toString. All right. So, right, because that's type. There we go. All right. So that handles saving it out, and we need to do the reverse when we spawn things in. So when we actually load this stuff, we need to check what our item type is, and then load, or what our object type is, and then load either an item or a basic interaction type. Okay. So let's go up here to load from JSON. Let's see, where's our game data rooms? All right, well, let's see where the ID is coming from. References. Here we are. Right. Right. Load interactions. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to want to do this. CG underscore interaction type. Type is equal to interaction JSON dot get string value, and we're going to want to say custom content utility dot int underscore type dot to enum CG underscore interaction type. Okay, and we'll also have a default value of CG underscore interaction type dot basic dot toString. It's only if we need it. For the most part, I don't assume that we'll ever need that. Once we have the type, then we can determine if we want to do an interactive object like this, or if we want to do an item. So we're going to say switch type case interaction type dot basic. Oops. Break. Why can't I type? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move this up to here. Copy this. Change this to item. Change this stuff to item. Come on. Work with me here. Item. Item. And then we're going to go ahead and change this to item. Grab this. Item. Item prefab. Item from JSON. Let's see, all that stuff should be good. And yeah. All right. So now we should have support for persisting object types across save games, well, across closing and reopening the application. And it's a good thing that we added that field actually to that safety check to make sure that it actually had that value. Otherwise, we would have gotten a bunch of null references when we started this up. So when we first start this up, everything's going to be basic interactions. There are no items that have been saved out. But then when we make our change, stop playing, and then resume playing, it should persist. It should. I think it will. Okay. Let's go ahead and click on this. Let's get through here. Extras. Author mode. Create. Zork. Okay, let's go to interactions. Item. So it's currently a basic one, as you can tell by the item, or the icon. Let's go over here to info. We'll change it to item. Okay, no errors so far. Okay, so that's pretty much done. Let's go ahead and edit something else, because I don't think right now it's going to save necessarily if we don't have a change that we make. So we'll just make a adjective for this, call it red. Let's go ahead and hit back. Stop playing real quick. Take a look at our JSON, make sure that it's been spawned in. There it is. So it says it's a type item. Let's also real quick take a look at the object above it. Make sure that it has its correct type. Oh goodness, all of the JSON. Type basic, ID 13, that's all good. Type basic, ID 10, type basic, okay. Yep. Good. Let's go ahead and jump back in. Once Unity stopped playing. There we go. Let's try that again. So this time it should persist, which means that when we load in, it should be an item by default. So if we look at it, it should say type item. I am hopeful. Start. Extras. Author mode. Create. Zork. Interactions. Ha-ha! Yes! We can tell by the pure white square. And if we go to info. Yay! Cool. So we now have support for items. Well, we have support for creating items. We don't quite have support for actually doing anything with them yet. Although there's no reason why we can't. I wonder if I even have to do anything extra, actually. Let's change this to add to inventory. Taken. And that's all we need to do, I think. So let's go to drop. This will be removed from inventory. dropped. I think that's it. Let's go ahead and say close. Let's go back. Let's go to our map and let's see. We don't want to go to the den. Let's do starting room. Might as well. Interactions. We have a door. Let's add another interaction from existing interaction. Let's go to item. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's play test this. So we see an item. Crap, is item even a word? Oh, good, it is. Let's say examine item. Okay, so we're examining it. Let's say take item. Ah, dang it. Where'd the null reference come from? Object reference. Let's just double click on that and see where it takes us. Ah, dang it. Collision modules. Let's see. So it's because okay, that's fair, I guess. So I don't just need model modules, I need my collision modules. This is kind of frustrating. So we're in a weird situation where, because I'm building off of the back of my my classes that I use for my main game, for the main version of Text Quest, I have weird cases like this where it's looking for a collider that the custom games really don't need, but the main game requires. So it's kind of a weird case here, and I don't want to make subclasses specifically for this, so alright, that just means I need to have modules that don't really have anything. No, that's fair. And I'm assuming .collider means that it actually does need a collider. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, at least I can make them box colliders. So let's go over to... Where are you? Okay, let's find it. Custom game author session. Let's clear this stuff out. Custom game item. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just add another module. So we need a collision module. We'll add a box collider. Might as well. I guess we'll make them triggers, and we'll go ahead and move that up. I can manually drag these now. Haha! Let's copy you. We'll do the same thing for basic interaction. Might as well. Base component is new. Add a new module, collision module. Okay. So all of that should let us pick things up, I think. That's a little annoying because it means that we'll have some extra physics overhead that we don't really need. But they're not going to be doing much, especially since they're not really colliding with each other, so I don't particularly care about that. Let's go ahead and do start. Let's go to extras, author mode, create, Zork. We should just be able to test. Okay, let's do take item. Yes! Oh, that's sweet. No extra effort on my part. Okay. So that means let's go. Crap. Is North going to end it? Okay, it's not. So we're going to go south. So yeah, this is my problem currently. So we can pick up an object and take it with us, but when we do that, we don't actually remove it from the list of things that you see. So we need to make sure that whenever you pick up an object, that we send an event to the room that you're in to say, okay, remove this from your list of items that exist in your room. Especially because if we did this, drop item, we would drop the item. And, oh, except it didn't. Is that because we didn't? Wait, what? Interesting. So its output was correct, but it didn't actually remove it. That's weird. It must not have actually set itself then? Okay, so we got, long story short, we got a lot of things that we need to take care of to make sure that items actually persist. Because the way I was expecting it to work is basically I would drop it and then I just could never pick it up again. In fact, well, no, because it's still in my inventory, so that's kind of weird. Let's go ahead and quit that. Let's take a look at our interaction. Let's go back here. Verbs, drop. Yeah, it says remove from inventory. Oh, maybe. Oh, right, because that's a different thing. remove from inventory was a separate thing. So we want drop item there. Let's close that. Let's go back. Let's test this out again. I was also worried about that. I need to make sure that I wipe my inventory whenever I quit a game. So for now, I'm gonna go north, drop item. Okay, that's awkward. I don't understand that sentence. Huh. Okay. That means that the drop item type is not valid. All right. Let's go ahead and stop this real quick. I guess let's take a look real quick at one of my objects that I have set up. So let's see here. We're going to go to text quest, design, interactions. We'll do the intro. Might as well. Castle. We'll just look at the keys. So what is the success type for the verbs? So on drop, it's removed from inventory. Weird, but it didn't actually seem to do it. Oh, I wonder. Oh no, really? No, that. Then why didn't it drop? That's interesting. Okay then. Well, I guess real quick, let's go ahead and say custom game input view, and on submit, blah blah blah. Let's see here. Add input. Receive input. Go to definition. Is quitting. Check quit input. So if we are going to quit, we'll go to definition here. In custom game, this is what I was looking for the entire time. We want to basically say inventory.clear. So I think I want to say global.get inventory.clear inventory. Yep. Okay. And let's see. So that should take care of getting rid of our inventory between play sessions. But we also need to... That's weird. Why would dropping it not actually drop it? I might have some theories on that. Also, why can't I select Unity? There we go. Let's get rid of you. So play. I guess the next thing we'll do once we solve this drop issue, we'll be trying to get persistence across rooms. So that item list, and I think I know how we're going to do that. We'll have a default item list and then an active item list. Default item list would be the items that should be spawned in by default, and then active would be the ones that actually are in that room. Oh, crud. Right, that's going to be a thing I have to do too. Right. Yeah, I am going to need some extra logic. I can't just depend on the base logic for this, because I need to, when you drop an item, make sure that it registers with the room that you're currently in, that you've dropped the item there. So let's go up here, create Zork. Let's go back here to item. We got to change our type for drop to remove from inventory. Let's go ahead and close that out. Back. Let's test this. Take item, drop. Okay, now that's going to be in our inventory. Okay. We're going to drop item. It says that it's dropped, but it didn't. So let's go ahead, pause. Let's go to inventory here. It definitely has something there. Let's take a look at our custom game item. Make sure that it actually has its type set for this. Let's see. That's take. So on drop, we are doing remove from inventory. Randomize output, reset, destroy after. None of that's true. That's fine. We don't have a prefab for it. That's fine. Yeah, weird. Okay. What to do about that? I don't really see what's different about this. I guess, real quick, let's take a look at one of our items. So let's take a look at the gold key. Drop is removed from inventory. We have a reset on interact, but that's just because it's true on default. Okay, so that means that something is happening on the interact or on the inventory level that's not doing what I would expect. Let's go ahead and stop playing. So when we get the, actually, you know what? Let's take a look at this. Item should have a specific chunk of logic for when you try to drop it. Let's see. Remove from inventory. That's what we wanted. If verbs.items.count is equal to 0, which is true, it should just be this object. If sentence.indirect object or container, okay, we don't care about that at all. Hold everything. Make sure that this is correct. Yep. Else, if not is inventory, I mean it's doing the output for the verb, which. Okay, so cached inventory.drop item. I think this is what's happening, or this is where it's not working. There it is. That's the problem. Do I need that? So what's happening is inventory won't actually drop anything unless the hero exists in the scene, but the hero doesn't exist in custom games because there's no 3D object necessary. So we need to change this then. So let me think. Do I only really need it for this one spot? I do. Okay, that's good, question mark. So I'm going to actually move this stuff up to here. And we are going to go ahead and say drop point is equal to global.hero reference is equal to, well, is not equal to null, question mark. That, and if it is equal to null, then we are going to go ahead and say vector 3.0. Oh, wow, that was just not at all correct. .0. Cool. So now it will drop regardless of whether or not the hero is in the scene. The only difference is that if the hero is in the scene, we're going to use them and drop them the way we would expect in 3D. Otherwise, we're just going to just let it float. Component object. Yeah, that's all fine. I probably should change that so I'm not constantly getting components. And everything else should be good. We should add the interactive objects. That's fine. Okay, so we do, yeah, here's where it gets a little messy. We need some kind of event. Otherwise my rooms will not know. Wait, hold on, is this an event? No, dang it. But it is part of dropped items. Let's peek definition. Remove item from inventory. Should I have item events? Yeah, all right. We'll add some events that we can fire for things that are listening to them. So let's go ahead and say public delegate void. Call this inventory event. That's going to take item. Oops, no, did that wrong. I keep double hitting keys today. Public event, inventory event. And we're going to say on item added is equal to delegate. And then public event, inventory event, on item removed is equal to delegate. Okay. Or actually, not instead of on item removed, I'm going to say on item dropped. Because removed is something that can be done without actually dropping an item. Like, for example, when you combine items, you remove the items from your inventory and add a new one to it, but you don't actually drop those items. So I needed that distinction. Let's go down here. So we have a drop item. So down here, I'm going to go ahead and say on item dropped, pass item. Okay, so that's obtain item. And we'll go ahead and say on item added item. Okay. So, with all of that fun stuff taken care of, we should be able to actually drop things now. In addition, we should be able to have events fired, which means that we can go to, let's see, where are custom game session. So let's see, how do I want to handle this? Clean up current room, move in direction. Well, let's go to room info for one. So we have interactions, which gets populated here, but I think we actually want, well, no, crap. Hold on. That's not something that needs to exist. Oh, crap. Okay. Give me a second here. Room info. You are what I think you are. Aren't you? Fine. Okay, let's do a header. Call this runtime. Oh, you know what? I guess I don't need that to be public. I don't know why I'm so concerned. Let's go ahead and do private list int active interactions is equal to new list int. And from this, we are going, no. Let me think. Right. Well, isn't this fun? Let's see. JSON. Yep, it's just crud. This is not good. Let me think. So I'm running into a bit of an issue where I'm trying to figure out how we want to communicate what interactions are actually in the room. Part of the problem is that this stuff needs to persist, technically, for things like save states. But we don't want to modify the base room, which is where things get iffy. So, what to do about this? Yeah, that's not great. We can keep it as a private list for now, but the problem is I don't know how to populate this really. Because really what happens here is this is just a class that stores data. It doesn't have data assigned to it, really. Well, but no, I guess that's not true, because I am doing this, so... Okay. Let's go ahead and make this public. We'll add a header to this, and we'll call it runtime. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and say, oh my God, no way. Really? Is that how I want to do this? Jeez. Alright, give me a second here. Find all references. Interactions.count. Here we are. So you can see that I'm kind of just referencing it. I'm not actually directly doing anything with it within its own class. I'm having other classes do stuff with that data instead. So I mean, I could have a list of lists events, or a list of lists events, yeah, um, that are the active rooms or the active lists, the active interactions per room. But it doesn't really make sense to separate them. It makes more sense for that list to be with the actual room info class. I just it's just not that intuitive on how I want to do this. Okay. Crud. Let me think. Let's go over here to custom game session for all of the friggin' get warnings. Nope, that's fine. That's a different thing. Custom game author. This is all custom game author session. We don't care about that. Room info.count. Room names. Get room ID. Let's see. Add room background. Get room background. Background images. Room ambience. Is that seriously all I have? That's the map view. This is the actual data. I never initialize it. That can't be right. Where do I set the freaking interactions? Because I have to do it there. Let's see. Room info. Session. Time out. Hold on a second here. Let's go over here to room info. Interactions.add. Room interactions. What? Oh, okay, that's me parsing it from JSON. But wait, where do I set it? I have to actually add it somewhere. Is the thing. Ah, here we are. Custom game room interactions menu. Generate interactions. Interactions.remove contains. Here we are. On existing interactions selected. So okay. So here I'm actually assigning values to the interactions list. But that's not initializing that list of active interactions. That's something that only needs to be done while the game is running. Okay, great. So that means that I need to... let's go over here to custom game session. So let's go back up here to custom game session. If info.interactions are count. Yep. So I need to actually change this. So this chunk of code right here is not going to look at... Is that indented? Yeah, it is. Okay. It's not going to look at the actual info.interactions. Instead, we're going to have a list of lists of integers that are going to be our active interactions that will be initialized when we start the game, then wiped when we quit the custom game. That way, I don't have this stuff being stored in the actual the room info itself, because it doesn't need to be here. Really, it's not going to do anything. It's not valid data that needs to be saved. It needs to be saved, but it doesn't really need to be saved in as it pertains to the room itself, because the room info class should just have data relating to what is in the room by default, nothing else. Anything else is going to be purely handled by the custom game session. Okay, so that means I need to go up here, and I want to say, let's see, I guess it'll be protected, and we're going to have backgrounds. So we're going to have protected list. Oh, freak. So wait, hold on. I think I actually want a dictionary of IDs and lists of integers. Yeah, okay. So let me read it. So there's going to be a dictionary of ints and then lists of ints. And this is going to be our active interactions is equal to new dictionary. Yep, all that fun stuff. Okay. So with that, we're going to want to, let's see here, initialize current room. So we're going to get a list of active interactions. So we're going to say, I can't call it interactions because that's room interactions is equal to, I will say null right now. Oh, come on, really? Dang it! Well, that's fine actually because I'll be redoing that anyway. So initialize current room, clean up current room. Yeah, okay, so right about here, I'm gonna go ahead and say public list IDs. We'll say get room interactions. And that's going to take an int ID. So we're going to say get room. No, not that. We're going to say get room active interactions. And we're going to say active interactions. Yep. So we're going to say if active interactions dot contains key ID. And we're going to return null by default. Or I'm sorry, return a new list, I guess. New list. Which actually I should probably make a static list so that it doesn't constantly return new lists. Let's see where. Oh wait, no, actually never mind. That's a false concern because that will never actually get there. So we're just going to go ahead and say return active interactions of ID. Yep. So we're going to say if it doesn't contain that key, then we're going to go ahead and say active interactions of ID is equal to new list int. Okay, so we'll make it a new list, which means I can actually get rid of this because we don't care about anything else. Yes, that's fine, except, oh jeez. Except I need a way to remove this from that list, and that's going to return a copy, I think. We'll just see what happens. Clean up current room. So we're going to go up here. We're going to say list int. Room interactions is going to be equal to get room active interactions. Current room, which should be an ID. Yep. Okay, so from there, we're going to go ahead and say if room interactions.count is greater than 0. We're going to do this, and then otherwise we'll just go ahead and get rid of this. How nice is that? Okay, one last thing, which is going to be get room active interactions here. So we do actually want to do this. Then by default, we're going to say if get room, based off of this ID dot interactions dot count is greater than 0, then we'll go ahead and say active interactions of ID dot add range. Can't type today. This. Okay. That should properly initialize everything, and it should also allow us to get accurate results for if an item is in a room. But now we need to assign our event listeners for when you pick up an object and when you drop an object, so that they get added or removed from the room's list of active interactions. God, it's like 10,000 steps to do custom game stuff. So initialize current room, clean up current room, get active interactions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I guess it's actually going to be down below, isn't it? So way down here in the private section. Let's see, private from Jason. This is all public so far. Wow, really? Everything's public in this class? Huh. I guess that makes sense. It's just a logic class. So we're going to say private void on item obtained item, then private void on item dropped item. All right. So before we do anything else, let's go ahead and hold on. End custom game. Yep, that's what we're looking for here. So on end custom game, we're going to go ahead and say global.get inventory dot on item added minus equals on item obtained. Do that. Paste this in. On item dropped minus equals on item dropped. Okay. Go ahead and copy this real quick, and there should be a start custom game right about there. We'll go ahead and put this up here. We're going to do plus equals, so we'll add these listeners. Let's go all the way back down to the bottom now. So on item obtained, we're going to go ahead and say get room active interactions current room dot remove item. Oh crud. Ah crud. Okay. Jeez. I need a way of reverse engineering an object's association with its ID. Ah, jeez. Yep, that's about right. Okay. What to do about this? I really don't want to do it this way, but I think I'm going to have to. Okay, so let's go up to custom game session. So let's see. We should have like a get ID or get interaction. Get interaction. Yeah. Where are you? Go to definition. Yeah. So we have a get interaction here. And we can't get all interaction IDs. I basically need to do a get interaction ID function, which is so annoying because that means I'm basically going to be digging through the values of my dictionary to get an ID, to get a key from that dictionary. Ugh. All right. Public int get interaction ID with, I guess, an interactive object as the interaction. All right, so with that, we'll go ahead and say int ID is equal to 0, return ID. For int ID, or for int I is equal to 0, I is less than interactions. Oh, it's got to be a for each loop. Boy. So for each. How does that? Yeah. Okay. No, that's right. We're basically going to be doing this. So we're going to say for int I. Freaking. We'll just call this key. Key. So we're going to do if interactions of key is equal to interaction, then we'll go ahead and say ID is equal to key, then break, and then we'll return ID. That's not. Ugh. That's a really gross way to do things. But I guess that's kind of what I have to do here. So we're going to say remove item, and then get interaction ID from that item. Yep. So we're pretty much going to do the same thing here, except we're going to say get room active interactions dot add. All right. So I think that's all we needed to do. So now when we go into a room, it should list everything by default, all of its interactions that it has by default. If we pick up an item, then it should no longer be listed in the list of interactions in that room. And when we drop that item in another room, it should be listed. Oh boy, that was like 15 minutes of coding to get it to do one very simple thing. But that's the fun of custom games support. It's like 10,000 extra hoops that you have to jump through to try and get everything to validate properly. Extras, author mode, create. Let's go over here. Interaction is still good. Yep. Okay, let's test this out. So I'm going to say take item. I have that in my inventory now. Let's go north. See an apple. Let's go south again. Yes! Okay, it's not listing. That's good. Let's go to I. I'm going to try dropping item. So close. What the heck? Hold everything. I don't believe you. I think you're lying to me. Let's go over here to pool manager. Go to where are you? Basic item pool. Okay, it's in the. Oh, it's disabled. Oh. Well, that would add complications to things. Wait, no. Wait. Oh, crap. Frack. Wait, no. Time out. Time out. I think something else has happened here. Cache inventory. Drop. Where are you getting set to? Where are you being recycled, though? That's the question. Set our parent to be equal to null. It has to happen after that, then. Remove item from inventory. Definition. Items. Yeah, there it is. Session not removed. Destroy or okay. So what's the stack trace for this? We need inventory 369, which I think is what we were looking at here. Oh no, somewhere else entirely. Oh yeah, the model. No, that's correct. Do my things not have modules? No, they have a model module. Why were you complaining? Sentence, success effect, item. So that's just a checking itself. I don't know what to do about that. That's kind of weird. I guess let's check our prefabs real quick. Yeah, I mean, there's the model module, which means that. So this not returning something is not making sense, really. Let's go to definition here. If modules not count as greater than 0, return modules, otherwise and that should even get inactive ones too. So that's really? That's so weird. Why on earth would it? Okay. So we can't. So this returns null is the important thing. Peak definition. What the? Huh. I'm going to assume then that the problem is that the item's model is null. So I'm going to go ahead and say, well, crap. Debug.log item.getModule model module is equal to null. I just want to see if that's true. If it's not true, then it means that for some reason, even though we're getting the module, the model is null somehow, which should be impossible, because if it's null, then it sets itself to be the model. So that's weird. Don't know what's going on there. Especially since, yeah, you can see that we have model modules set up. They're initially enabled. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Go ahead and play this real quick. And I'm going to take a drink. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Okay. Take item, drop item. Okay, so we get an error there. Timeout. Item. Oh. Oh. Frack. I know what it is. Okay. Yep. That was. No, that's fair. That's. Oh, dang it. Okay. So the problem is not that get module is returning nothing, it's that item is null. Which makes sense, right? Because item, in order to get an item, it's looking for an item ID that needs to be passed in, which doesn't exist on the item. Item does not have one, which means that we need to dynamically add one. Oh. Okay, I think I know what to do there. Give me a sec. Okay. No, that won't work. Okay. So I need to go to my global object real quick. Is inventory all I needed for this? No. Item ID collection. Oh no. Wait, no. That shouldn't matter. Okay. So I need to look for my item IDs real quick. Item ID collection, which I'm pretty sure it's not going to be next to the scripts, which means it's going to be down here in data. Data, item IDs. Okay, so I have to. One, I need to duplicate this. Where is my custom game stuff? Content creation, data. Oh, look at that! I already have one. Never mind. Delete you. So here, item ID collection. Good. Is that being referenced already? Where? There it is. No, but it needs to be. So I'm going to, I guess, add a field for that. Now let's go up here to custom game session. Oh crap, that won't work. Timeout. It's going to be unique anyway. All right. No, we don't actually need that. We're going to just manually brute force this. Okay, so let's go to custom game author session. Oh crap, that won't work either. Okay. Okay, so we need this in two places. First thing, custom game session. When we spawn items, or when we spawn interactions in, I need to manually create an item ID for them. So let's see, to JSON. Okay, so from JSON is what I need. Oh, actually, it's not from here. It's here. Load interactions. Okay. So item.from JSON. Okay. So for this, I need to say item.item ID. Please tell me this is. Okay, good. It is. Is equal to new. I'm going to make a new item ID on the fly, and that's going. Can the hash be the same? There shouldn't be a problem with that. Okay. So the name is going to be crap. All right. Do I get this? I have the type. Really, I don't get the int from this? That doesn't make sense. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're going to actually move this. Int equal to this. We'll convert this over to index, I guess. Yeah, can I just make it ID? Yes, good. So ID. So it's going to be ID.toString followed by ID. I think that will work. And we're going to need to do something similar to this in custom game author sessions when we actually swap types. So let's see, add interaction, manager.request. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say this. ID.toString ID. Okay. I think that's all I needed to do. Let's go ahead and let that compile. So the problem that I was having is that my inventory it looks for items based on item IDs, and since these custom game items don't have that stuff set up for them, it was just going to return null every time. So that's why we were getting that issue. This should work, and what should happen is whenever we create an item, it should have an ID just brute force generated for it by the game manager or the custom game session, and then that should allow the inventory to work as expected. So let's go ahead and do start extras author mode create Zork. Just as a quick test, I want to look at this. Go to our pool manager, item pool, game item. Its ID should be visible here. So item size goat mask, which could be coincidental and might be okay. It could just be that the goat mask's ID is already that makes sense actually. So that goat mask I think can be safely ignored. That's just because it's being drawn like that. All that matters is the underlying hash ID, which should be 15. As long as that's the case, then we should be fine. So let's see. Yes, okay. The name itself is irrelevant, because that's a human readable thing only for my benefit in the editor. It does nothing for the actual game. Okay, so I think we can actually pick stuff up then. So take... Oh, right, it tried to interact with the door. Take item. Drop item. Did it work? Yes! Okay, let's go north and south. Let's take item. Let's go north and south. Let's go north. Drop item. Let's go south. Let's go north. Yes! I apologize for anyone who's listening on headphones. But yes! It works! Okay. So we have custom game support for items now, including inventory space, including picking up objects in one room and then dropping them in another room, and having them be appropriately listed. Yes! Okay. Trying to think what else we could do with items right now. We have... I mean, what else would I really need to do? I think if I go east... Really? Oh, right. Let's go south one more. There we go. So that might be a pretty good place to stop for the night. Because I actually do need to go get food. But we got... So we have items set up. You can actually set an object to be an item. So you can swap objects from basic to item. Items in custom games can be picked up and taken with you to different rooms. They can then be dropped in those rooms, at which point they'll be listed as things you can see in those rooms. Actually, real quick, let's go back. Let's go to the map. Okay, I don't have a room currently where I don't have any interaction, so I'm going to go ahead and delete the apple from this room. Let's go ahead and go back. Let's hit close. So I'm going to... Oh, right. I need to reset that. Okay, that's something I need to do. Let's go ahead and stop that. Custom game session. Load interactions. Let's see here. Hold on. From JSON. No, that's not right. We want end custom game. We're going to wipe our inventory. We also need to go ahead and say active interactions dot clear. Is that right? Is that where I would want to do that? Yes, that's where I would want to do that. And then we'll dynamically add it as you explore. Yep, okay. So let's go ahead and try that again. Uh-oh. That, interesting. I've never seen that error before. I don't know what that is. That seems like a Unity error. Okay, so that, I think, was the only line of code I had to change, and that should actively get rid of the interactions as appropriate. Does that mean that it's just in memory right now? Let's see, where are you? Oh, right, it's not going to serialize because it's a dictionary. I guess I could go ahead and wipe them at the very beginning, too. There's no real reason why I can't. I don't see a reason why not. Okay, so let's go ahead and let that compile. Trying to think, what else did we do today? Oh yeah, we also set up the rich text editing stuff, so you can more easily edit rich text descriptions. But yeah, most of the day was spent on trying to get items to actually function and getting them set up. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. That took a lot less time than I was expecting to have items integrated into the game. Well, integrated into custom adventures. I was thinking that would be like a 2 or 3 day thing, but nope. Got it done in 1. All right. So this should allow us to... God, what percentage does this put us towards having a very rudimentary custom base game support? I mean, I think this brings us up to like 80%, in the sense that we have objects, both basic and items, that you can carry around with you. We have rooms. We have starting rooms and end rooms. The only thing that's really left is interactions in the sense of like using keys to unlock doors. And I guess like scoring or rules, or I guess logic in general. That's the last big hurdle for custom games. And then I think we have basic custom game support in. Players will be able to make their own custom text-based adventures, and they should be able to function. We will need to work on persisting save data if I want to do. Well, yeah, I should do that. I shouldn't be mean and say like, well, it's a custom game. I'm not going to let you have persistent save data. So now if we, yeah, there we go. See a door and an item. Let's go ahead and say take item. Can I look? Oh, right. That's always look around. I don't think that'll work. Yeah, look room. Yeah, that's also another thing I got to deal with, don't I? Yep. Lovely. Yeah, that's not ideal, actually. Environment object. How the freak did you even get that? Hold on. Object reference, do verb. Huh? Oh, right. No, I mean, the level manager stuff makes sense that it wouldn't function. But why... Oh, I think it's because it's always with me, isn't it? Um, type environment object. Is it environment or environmental object? Okay. I okay. Huh. Let's see. Environment objects. Yes. Sentence. Interactive object. 357. Okay. Environment object. 357. Or interactive object. Kind of quickly gonna look at this. 357. Okay then. Getting all kinds of weird. Check phrase, interactive object, multiple sentences, parser. Well, this is something I can look at later. So, main thing is, today we got items working in custom adventures, and that is what I am most excited about. So, I think that's a pretty good place to stop for the day. No real announcements. Should be streaming at a regular time, picking up again next Tuesday, 7 p.m. And yeah. So, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching. Thanks, William, for the host, and I will see you all next time.